Hello. This is the 2009 Honda Accord EXL four-door sedan that I'm trying to sell. I made a video on it that was close to a half hour. I realize it's kind of excessive, so this is the summarized version. Plus, I forgot a couple of things in the initial video, but I'll post both anyway in case somebody wants the more back and forth detailed version. But anyway, it has 293,000 miles on it, and I haven't done much to it. I've owned it about 5 years. Normal wear and tear items like tires and brakes. Rear brakes are good. They could use new rotors. They don't make any noise, but heavy braking, you can feel a little bit of pulsing. I know it's not from the front because those brakes are pretty much brand new, with geomet coated rotors from brake stop or power stop, sorry, and then Wagner thermal quiet brake pads. Those are relatively new, under 1,000 miles. Headlights, I don't know, 1,000 miles or so. The old ones were really hazed over, starting to crack in some places from rocks or whatever. But these are just cheap Amazon ones. They were like $130. They're not as good as the original as far as overall quality. So if you ever take this apart, there's going to be a little bit of sealant around the exterior shell from the back, rear shell, just to prevent moisture from getting in, because that is usually the first thing that ruins headlights, is moisture getting in. And with an aftermarket headlight, sometimes they're not very thorough on their quality control. Anyway, body is in good shape. It was in southern Missouri, as far as I know, at least in the beginning of its life. There's really not a whole lot of rust. There's a little surface rust under here probably. In that other video, I actually went ahead and crawled around under there a little bit to show. Here is passenger door. Passenger heated seats work, the driver's side does not. I tried to find a used seat, and it was like $360 and not in very good shape. So I just kind of dealt with it. That could be something you could look at later, but I didn't feel it was justifiable with the age and miles. Everything works other than the air conditioning. That quit working in August. It would get hot, cold, and then the PSI went way up, and I guess I read that it might be a clog. So I don't know if it's an easy fix or not. I'll just kind of pan around here, and if you really want more details, you can try and skip through or look around in that other video. But you know, it's got 293,000 on it, so I took care of it as if I was going to drive it until the end of its life. The only reason why I am selling it is because I bought my mother's car, which is over there. That only has 92,000 miles on it, so realistically that's why I'm getting rid of this one. But I didn't know she was gonna sell it otherwise. Anyway, that's not important. But here's the back. Seats are in decent shape, other than that driver's seat. Tires are good. So I mentioned that I replaced the power steering pump in the previous video because the other one, I don't know if it was original or not, but it had, it seemed to be pretty old regardless, and it would whine in the winter, and it drove me nuts. So I had planned on replacing that anyway before this winter, so I did do that. In addition to that, what kind of prompted changing that was the tensioner, the automatic tensioner, the bearing in there was going out, so the belt would chatter, and before anything failed, I wanted to make sure I replaced that. So I put on a new Bando belt, the power steering pump, flushed the fluid, new fluid, and then the automatic tensioner. ABS pump, I said, I had replaced with a used one, more details in the other one. Otherwise, battery's only a couple years old. Air filter's new. This pipe here, flex pipe, is new. It had rotted out in here. Otherwise, everything is pretty much, I drew the oil minder gauge on the dash, so when that says 10% usually is when I change it. That's what I do. I used recommended 5W20 full synthetic, and changed the filter with a synthetic filter, or synthetic rated filter every time as well. Overall, working on this vehicle is actually pretty decent. There's more room than I would say your average new car. Not that this is new, but I should say more or less a modern car. Someone did bump me back here in a parking lot. Here, dented in the bumper, broke the tail light, but all I did was heat up the bumper and took a rubber mallet and popped it, and it actually only has a little scratching, and then got a used tail light. But floor mats are new. I'll make sure there's a full tank of gas, and I really have been planning on selling this car for the last almost 3 months. I didn't want to sell the car just because it's been such a good vehicle, and having my mother's car, it's needed certain repairs, like I have to replace the starters starting to go out. So it was nice having a third vehicle between hers and my two, just for backup. But with winter coming, it's time to let it go, and I'll end up placing it probably right at the bottom of fair market value, maybe a little lower, and we'll see what that is. I'll provide a link with KBB for all that information. But otherwise, again, a 2009 Honda Accord EXL 4-door sedan with 293,000 on it. Thank you.